Gaia is on a healing journey, and she's been working with me as a client, and she has uh, done a lot with working with symbols. Could you please share with the audience? These are people interested in healing from trauma, in particular, some kind of child abuse issues. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about whatever you're comfortable sharing, but just to talk a little bit about your experience with childhood trauma and the way that you turned your experience into a set of symbolism and actions for your rite of passage ritual.
It's I really like the workshop how that the setting because from the beginning we all bring in our own self inside and then we start to discover which part we want to become the thing of this rite of passage. So I didn't decide what I really want to do at the first week, like because during the workshop and you also introduce many different concepts. So that also like build a foundation for me to adding my story, my part inside. And I like the best part is you didn't chewing all the not wisdom, all the tools. You didn't chewing all the good things, food, and feed me or other people. You simply put every tools on the table and make sure we understand which tools, how to use it. And then we pick up the things we want and we create. For example, you give us a recipe and we go home and find ingredient, make our own food according to the recipe.
What meal, what feast did you make with the recipe?
I remember that's one time everybody tried to say, okay, would you like to image what your rite passage will be? And everybody, some people would say here and there, I would deal with something because we take weeks to know each other. And it's very close and we all really care about each other. We share the very important private part of ourselves. We all write down what we want to do. And by the end, I make the video. It's really, really, it's become real. The moment is, wow. It's not only thinking, it's really go inside my muscles and it's only like it really happen. So it's let me grow inside my body, my thought, and so I feel it's really important they can become real ritual.
There's different ways of going about therapy. There's talk therapy where you could just kind of talk about things, and then there's there's psychiatric, like there's medical, take a pill, and
Yes.
but this is a different kind of thing. It's a physiological, it's an activity, it's an action, and it has meaning. A sort of it's laden with meaning that's woven into the physical experience. And so, I mean, you know this, but this is just for the people who are listening. Trauma is about truncated action. It's about you want to do something to protect yourself and grow and thrive, but you get stopped. Like trauma is where you get stopped, stuck, and you have to twist and turn to get out of that stuckness. And those twists and turns are basically what make us live with PTSD. So the things that we do to compensate for the trauma, the things that we have to go with, the things that we have to avoid, these are the kind of twisting and turning that we use to get unstuck. But so healing of trauma is where you identify that stuck moment, and then you can figure out how to continue that action so that it's not stuck anymore, right? Carrying yourself through, completing the action that you needed to do originally in order to thrive and grow. And so that's what the ritual is designed for. You did it beautifully. I would like to show a clip. Yeah, go for it.
A little bit that part because what you say is very important. You said bring the trauma with you go, and I would like to feel it's more like I know I am okay to go my future even with those traumas. So I don't need to fix them, push them away, turn them to different things. I'm okay with those part of me. I still can go. So, okay, quickly share. Sorry, not sorry. I feel the rite of passage because I done the therapy with you in different way. Like we have a consulting, and then we have a different like a different system you are using different way. And this one particularly like a actual a big like a it's like a school. You go the end or you give a big project. So everything is not only one tool. It's combine this, combine that, and combine everything meaningful for me, works for me. And so I feel this right passage till now for me, when I looking back my video, first of all, the inner child, the wounded one is be heard, because I simply share this to everybody in some way. Yeah, so I don't want to they say sorry to me, but I want to know it's wrong in some way. So first one is my inner child is be heard. The secondly is very interesting. When I doing this as a ritual a performance, I feel I kind of have a little bit distance from the person who is all so drowning to that victim mode. Me, I get a break from see it with a little bit distance. But didn't mean push away, but like we can have some space through the whole process, even till now. After the first 1 month, I just like every day repeat like 1,000 times. I was watching this, and the healing going on again and again and again and again and again. Every time I watch myself, mostly I'm not sure everybody, but the painful, the confusing, the what do you say, the heaviness part is reducing slowly by slowly. Now I only watch like 1 month, one time. Yeah, and it can skip. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's my summary from this.
Some of the things you said are so incredibly important for the healing process. I just want to kind of underline and reassert some of what you said. So first of all, the fact that you're still doing it, we haven't done counseling sessions in I guess about a year, and so but you've been continuing your healing journey on your own, and
Yeah.
yeah, so watching the video again and again. You said you watched it like 100 times in a month. That is really like a way to reprogram your brain to witness this is the truth. It's not the old story. You're reasserting the new story by doing the ritual. You mentioned before that we did some therapy, some sessions, different types of therapy, and then the rite of passage was kind of like the final project. And so
Yes.
the final project really drove it home by putting your entire body, your activities, like living it in real life, living yourself through the healing process. And then by watching it again and again, you begin to change your mind, like literally, physically, rewrite your brain. Talk about neuroplasticity and how easy it is to create new associations in the brain. You're rewriting the episodic memory part, the technical term. The episodic memory is where you have story, like this is the truth of my life. You're rewriting the story that I am strong, I have support, people have witnessed my wounded self. My inner child has been witnessed. And so
Yeah.
yeah, these things are so important. One last point that I just want to emphasize that you said before was trauma happens in secret. A
Yeah.
big part of especially relational abuse type trauma, like if there's relational abuse, it's all you have to keep it secret, and that secret creates a hole inside, and you have to maintain this horrible secret, and that alone is very traumatizing. That's part of the experience of complex traumatic stress. So when you can unwrap that secret and say, look, I'm not ashamed anymore, this is what happened, and then being surrounded by a group of other people who witness it and have compassion for you, and they're not trying to pity you, they're just like, I hear you, I have trauma too, like I see you, and it's valid and true.
And we all bake our own meal. Like we all cook our own meal, and we all bring together, have a big feast to that moment is really remarkable if I doing that by one with you. But the group one is bring us so much different support, because you have someone going through the same journey with you. And also I remember that time you also have your own one.
I did one too. Yes.
After 1 year, like we still care about it. It's built a special bonding, because we know how we go from before rite of passage, and we did that, and we like a little close groups. Yeah, that's it. The moment I would just want to share.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to play the video. Yeah, this was an earlier part of the workshop, and you really started to work with your symbolism. This is where you introduced the nooses, the hanging ropes, and the
One important,
tunnel.
yeah, the tunnel. Yes, yes.
Yeah, could you talk about your symbols here?
Because one of my important family member hang self, so it's really make me feel I either don't want to end up like this, or if I don't motivate me a lot, change a lot, I'm gonna become like this. So some of them are very personal. Some of them the journal represent I want to go through this way, and everybody have different tools to go through their life obstacle and until the turn of the light, right? That moment I really need some hard, active energy for me.
So speaking of that hard, extreme imagery, you have the hard light, the burning car, the nooses, and then there's this razor blade, and there's also down here, it looks like
The
soldier.
army, yeah, army going to push me. Doesn't matter I want or not. There's no way back. You're gonna be pushing toward this. It's like either I do it or not. I'm gonna hurt myself anyway. I just say two double side the blade. It means either I don't do take action, I feel awful, I feel suicidal, I feel sad, or I try to take action, still feel I'm gonna fail. But both of them both make me feel very bad. But if I take action, I might works, it might works. So that's
Yeah,
something we might choose the hard. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a great symbol because it's like it's because motivating yourself to heal, it's not easy to actively change your life. That you have to actually change things in your life to make it better. That's hard. It sucks,
Yes.
but then PTSD sucks, right? Trauma sucks.
I don't do anything, it sucks too. So
So that's the
so I,
double-edged razor blade.
that razor blade, I also bring that in my ritual.
Yeah.
Even you know what, I cut it with that. So it's yeah, it's everywhere. It's symbols. I think we are so focused on using symbols to let our brain catch the informations like very directly. Yes,
Yes.
that's what I learned.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, symbols have a way of packaging information, like so much information, emotions, feelings, meanings are all packed into a one little symbol, and it's a really great way to access huge parts of our psychology with a little
So
symbol. I remember that you brought these the nooses and also the razor blade into your underwater performance, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But I love this idea about like discipline, focus, execution is stressful and sucks, but it's like, well, what are you going to do? Continue to live with trauma? It's like, ugh. So then there's the army pushing you forward.
or more people are gonna die. Look, there's a rope there. So it's for me that moment threaten is a motivation. But of course now I'm turning gentle way, but it's my process, the moment.
Beautiful.
That's what I need at that moment.
Okay, I'm going to continue a little bit. Now, what is this? You taste horrible.
It's an IUD. At that moment I just somehow have a little I think everything happened for reasons. So I removed that things because I try to not be pregnant because I want to make men more enjoy about sex, not worry. But actually, it's hurt my body and it's not enjoyable. So I realize I put myself as a object to please men. It's also in my rite of passage. It's also part of the big thing.
So you have this unnatural like plastic object in your body, and it's actually hurting you, but
Yeah,
you're sort of compromising yourself in order to please men. And that
like they don't need London, right?
Yeah, and so you were saying that's actually like totally tied into the sort of the self concept that was developed because of the childhood abuse.
I remove from the doctor and I say, can I keep it? And I at home wash it and I just put it, just taste it. So I think it's really something I do it to memorize, to remember myself,
Yeah,
to
I mean
remind my.
that activity is. I just want to say that it's very intentional. You know, putting it in your mouth, tasting it. That's like really it's really like owning your healing process. Like, okay, this happened. This is real.
And then, nah, I don't want this. Taste it. No.
Yeah. So it's another layer or another iteration of making that decision. You know, this is not
Again,
okay. Yeah.
the unwanted child, because IUD is actually want to kill the child is unwanted, right? And I feel that moment. I feel I killing my inner child, and my inner child is consciously, subconsciously interacted with this, and without I identify or notice or heard it. So yeah, and also that moment because I think you share Trinity for us, so that concept that me bring that part of give sympathy, compassion to my inner child, but also a bigger part of me. I think I'm still learning that process, so I bring it into that. Like a crows. I start like clean my home from my room because before I doing the rite of passage, I was like very messy, depression. I also sleep a lot and in a dark room. So I start like clean little bit. So I wanna reward myself like at least I have a bed.
Yeah, a clean one.
Oh, water. Speak about water. I remember we all ask our inner child, what do you want? I think that question is so important because it's be brought on the table and the inner child gets spoke and you make sure we have to make the promise happen. So the inner child heard like, okay, someone's here, gonna make sure what we want, our
So it's,
need
mm,
will be heard.
so it's about connecting with the inner child and then figuring out what does it want, not what you think it wants, but what does it really want and need, and then keeping your like making that happen. So part of the rite of passage in terms of the art and symbols and actions is to give that child what it always needed.
At
And
least one time, at least experience that inner child trust me again because I have to say other people never care. Oh my god, that's what inner child wanted. But when I care, it's the most important thing. Oh my God. So the inner child said, want to go to the sea. I don't know why. And then I go to the sea. So every, everything grow from the sea. What I gonna do the sea? And like, wow.
yeah,
It's a good.
yeah. So this is basically all of your symbolism laid out, and then at your symbols and actions. So I wonder if you could just kind of run through this, let people
Yeah, I
understand.
would run quickly. And so the first thing is just we bring out from the ropes inside of me. And the ropes is then I'm gonna cut it off because I really like cut things personally. So that lingering little humans are the person who I lingering with, have karmas, my parents, my kids, the karmas, generational karmas. Then the next one will be fingerman because during this trauma, my childhood, there are like five, four, five, five, 4 or 5 times, and I be neglected, put in somewhere. So our relatives finger me or touch me or give me show whatever they're not supposed to show. Then I recreate the scene, the moment. The plastic globes is actually means they touch me. So I will recreate the same thing again, the scene. So I will finger myself again, touch myself. And the jacket shoes is, I think it's just the adding what is the color I want. Become black and then later black, like a dark shadow. Then later in the end, I wear white clothes. So it's represent my cleansing process. Yeah. And the picture, P means picture, and the video, some of them I need to make a video to describe. So I think hang ropes, and I start to finger myself, then I enter the water. The next one to cut the ropes inside the water, and then pull out all the fingers that ever inside of me. And I think very important things I want to add a little bit, because when I first time, I know I cannot do everything by myself. So I invite some of my friends and help me. And when I tell her about, oh, my idea is I'm gonna cut the ropes in the water, and she seems like carries so much fear, her personal fear, then kind of influence me in this ritual. I just want to add in a little bit, because I consider her feeling too much, but actually I want a thicker one. I want to feel I really cut, but end up I choose very, very thin one, because I want to make her comfortable. But that's my whole life. I try to make everyone comfortable. So
Interesting.
that thing actually is be planned. They meant to be like this way. So I will remind myself, even though my personal very important rite of passage, I still let other people to decide what I should do. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little
So,
bit.
so just to clarify, your friend was full of. She was worried that you were going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, she asked me don't do it. She said, "Can you don't do this?" But it's like oh, I don't know if I don't do it, how can I really feel? But I compromise a little bit. But
This point is so important, especially I think this is important in East Asian cultures because
yes,
right? There's a lot of
mm,
like social pressure to, it's like, well, you don't have to really do that. You don't have to go to that extreme, right? And
yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of social pressure to, be concerned about your friend's fear. But you're
Yes,
saying that this actually interfered with the healing process, and you have some regret.
yeah. I didn't use the thicker one. I did feel the cutting, the excitement. But also, I want to share, because the way we're going to do the old ritual, the rite of passage, everything happened is resonate my thing about my self-worth and other people's need. So that's a moment. I also, later you can see, I bring two pictures of my parents, and I wanted they witness what happened. Then there's some guardian, right, safeguard, and then they passing, they just want to take a look at what we are doing. And I was like a little bit very focusing my journey, my things. I need to done it right, did it right. And I don't want to make him feel good. I don't want to explain what I want to do. And then he said, "Oh, is that your parents die? Because so you're gonna come here to?" I just like, oh, I say, I cannot do anything right now to make you feel comfortable right now, the moment. And my little partner, she is like so feel compassionate about the other person. They are just kind. They just want to take it. They just want to care about what's going on with you. We can explain to them, and it's just like, okay. So that also the other moment. Tell me again. It's like yourself or other people. Yourself or other people again. So I feel that's very magic. It's on the old way. I'm not only do my rite of passage, what I plan, also the real time rite of passage happen at the same time.
So basically, during the performance of your rite of passage, you actually had to confront directly an issue that's one of the key issues for you, which is about boundaries and relationship with other people. Like, do I have to obey another person to make them feel good, or do I stick up for myself and do what I need regardless of how they feel? So it's working that balance, and you had to face that at the moment that you were doing the performance.
So it's like an immediately decision. What are you gonna do? So I felt, wow, it impressed me myself. Mm.
If you had to do the performance again, how would you handle that differently?
I will describe very clear about what's my intention to who the friend I will go with, because I didn't have the time to describe too clear. And also for me, everything's very clear, but probably not clear for other people. So she is like only listen to the orders, like can you take this part and take that part? And that's one moment I remember I was lying there like a dead body, and she's just like, okay, you don't want to do any pose, so I just do the okay, I just take it out, and I just say yes, exactly, because I was frozen mode at that moment. That's why the pictures cannot move, and she, but I don't have that. So next time probably, yeah, I at least I know very clear. So I have very clear, right, many details about that. So
I want to take this point and expand it into your life even today, a year later. It's like with any relationship at all, could be with family or friends or lovers or whoever. But so it seems like you have your idea of how things should be, and then when you go into action, it's like if you get interrupted, it can be upsetting. But you can avoid just what you said. You can avoid the upset if you just communicate beforehand.
yes, yes. Oh my God. I will bring this as like a takeaway for today. Okay. I need to do more deep thinking about what you say now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it makes some sense for my new learning right now. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
The middle one, they pull out the gloves. Then look, the down part, the bottom part is like the safety things. I say I will put it in the case, so they were in the bag, so they will be safe, you know?
Yep.
It's like, yeah. Yeah, and then the moment I feel, wow, witness what happened, this disconnect. Oh, I'm writing a little note for me, and the fourth part will finger myself because I want to take my virginity back. So I put a little red ink inside, represent my blood come out like I am virgin, and I take myself virgin by myself. So it's like a showing a little bit of authenticity about I own it, not no one else own it. So that thing's for me to, even though it's not true, but I create that truth for myself the moment.
So you made that happen through ritual activity. You're like, I reclaim my virginity. I'm the one who takes my virginity.
Mm. And it turned out beautifully, like water, the red things inside the water. Yeah. The jacket, before I want to wear the heavy black jacket, I'm gonna just remove inside the water. And that the point, my partner, she's really, because that moment I still cannot believe. I remember when I really playing it, I think it's easy. But then when I'm in the water, the gravity, the weightness make the jacket so heavy.
Mm.
And I feel, am I really want to let all the old story, the victims, if I don't have that, who am I? Wow, now I think about this, the moment she's telling me, I was like, am I really going to be free? I'm not sure. I never feel it's possible. So she just simply say, you're free. And it's okay. And then the joyfulness, the celebration started, and then my face start to smile, even though yeah. And then I release, and then she's like following my very dark, heavy, and then she start to feel my face become smile, and then she's like, okay. And in the end, I think the end I also deal with a little bit my parents' issue because I think it's very deep. Before our meeting today, I rewatch our video. I feel I still have a lot of work. I might need to have a new rite of passage soon. So I feel today, I want to see how today also something to tell me how far I already go. I think I need to tell myself today.
Mm.
It's a very important thing. So I am admire and also celebrate female organs or men organs bring what's the creativity, the life energy, sexual energy for us in the positive ways because we need that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's part of why I'm so easy to bring up that part of like finger myself, and it's really straight to the point. It's already
Yeah.
happened to me. I'm not
Yeah.
afraid anymore to share. I also share the person's picture. It's first time I release the person's picture. So
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not
So
hiding that anymore. So
great. Yeah. So no more secrets. No more holding on to other people's secrets.
no more. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm going to continue with the video.
Yeah.
So here's some photos of the actual stuff, your actual objects and
No.
some.
Oh, I remember you tell me one thing very important before the real ritual, the real rite of passage. Always rehearsal one time at home, at least once.
Yeah,
So I just make everything, especially I'm gonna do it in the water. So it might happen something unexpected. So I exactly go through the same thing one time at home. And it really helped me a lot by like I know what might happen. Yeah, so it's very important. We want to make it safe, not re-traumatize or misleading the focus. So
exactly.
thanks. Yeah.
100% right. 100% right. Yeah. Rehearse, practice, make sure you know what you're going to go through. And also, I mean, I know that in my own experience with using these kinds of rituals, a lot of healing happens during the practice. Like you run through the healing several times, and then when you do it in public or in nature or whatever the case may be, it's like one last statement of something you've already done multiple times.
Yes, yes, yes.
These are the pictures of your family.
And my father. And the interesting thing is we all both found out the picture I found from my mom, my grandma. My mom actually one hand covered my pussy.
Yes.
It's so meaningful. It's like she never be able to really protect her, but in that picture,
Wow.
she protected. So
Wow.
it's like I tell myself, like, yeah, my mom tried. Like, yes, she did protect. Like,
Interesting.
wow. So it's really magic, right?
Yeah. So part of the meaning of the symbol of she's covering your
Watch it.
genitals, she's protect like she tried to protect. Mom tried to
Yeah.
protect. So that's in there. Interesting.
Oh, that's how when we grow up and all our years tied up for each other, so many things happen between us. It's like a ropes or and I start to prepare the fingers from different time of my life. It's my inner child for me. And I go through exactly what happened in a moment. I go back, teleport to me
So
to
you
feel who's doing it.
this is important. So you went back and you
Yeah.
relived the experience, but you did it with your adult mind and all of your
Yes.
adult resources.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm I know that happened, but I'm not afraid anymore. But I see what I heard. I know you are there, and I'm there too.
So
Interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I was just going to say that, in healing trauma, inner child work, this is very true in IFS. When you go and you witness what happened to the child, you witness what happened to yourself with your adult resources. So it's not re-traumatizing. You're within your zone of tolerance, and you're coming
Yes.
in there with total compassion. We're going
Yeah.
to make this thing right. And so
Yeah.
the performance was about taking something wrong and making it right.
And also that part, that day, my period come just
Perfect.
the same day. So every time I put more finger, the gloves inside my body.
Mm.
So yeah, so I just show who did it and what happened.
Mm.
Yeah, and who did that, and
Mm.
this one particularly take longer because this person actually stay in my life longer. Interesting. Everything just
Ah.
for reason. Yeah, it's also not so much detail, but it's I mean recreate the same thing, the same scene. Oh, I think I also wear black mask in order to show I'm wearing mask in order to grow up, hiding myself, hiding all the secret.
Mm.
Um, I think also the death is the death tarot card, yeah.
Mm.
And I start to cleaning myself, rebirth in the water. Oh, I have two-time water birth experience with my kids, by the way.
Okay.
Wow.
So a water birth.
So water birth, and I pull out all the fingers represent they are not inside my vagina anymore. It's really, really because I can feel I can feel it. Like they really out of it. And
Okay. Let me talk about this for a second. This is a redo, like redoing the traumatic experience. So you actually created a situation where you were redoing it. You're taking something wrong and undoing it, literally,
mm,
physiologically. Yeah.
my vagina literally can feel it. Like they that's what I try to say. I now when I think about it, I can still feel it. So it means something for me, like a it's like they are not in there anymore. Mm.
Amen. Thank God.
Amen. Oh, that's a moment. Yeah, she was saying you are free.
You're free.
Yeah, I remember I also choose the music and it's also change the vibes. You know,
Mm.
the part, music, everything, cutting, adding. Maybe later the second part we can hear the. Wow.
Yeah, was so let's see the days, the endless highways. Go play the game that you love. Now rise, we are ever. Now rise from the ground. See she flies.
Beautiful.
She is a bird. See she flies on the ground. So let's see the sights, the endless summer nights. Go play a game that you love. So we are all free now. So, but part of this was releasing your entire family, including your children, from the generational trauma cycle.
Yeah, from me, and I also cut the lingering from me as well. Like I blaming my family. I recreate the things similar to my kids. So I think we all need to free from each other. So it's like I feel so happy when I cut the little ropes on the little,
Mm,
you know, yeah. So it's really by doing it, touching it is really the memory is so vivid.
mm. So this is really, taking responsibility for how you have internalized family abuse cycles. So you're saying
Mm.
free from the generational abuse, and also from me as
Yes.
somebody who's also doing the abuse. So this is very much like ownership, and taking responsibility for, the trauma stops here.
Yes. And it's very empowered because I know I'm the person stop. I can stop from me, not waiting for anyone to stop.
So everyone in the group, they were all doing this kind of ritualistic rebirth,
And we
rite of
can.
passage on the same weekend, and it was the equinox. So that also really helped everyone, knowing that they're doing it, and other people were doing it too at the same time. What was that like for you, Gaia?
It's like when I'm doing that, I know they are doing that as well. So I feel so proud for each other and also get strength. Also, we're going through hard things right now, and I want to bring them back. After I discover this journey, I want to bring this souvenir back and then share to each other. And it's because we commitment to do it, so it's important. And
So
we know how important this will influence each other in the future and to go on their own journey and be growing, how much growing we can have. So also excited, but also feel, can I do it by myself? But you're doing it, so just do it. You're also holding that pace very well by, make sure everybody, on the same page. Yeah. So I think it's also,
you're very tuned into the birth process, amniotic fluid.
yes,
Can
it's
you talk about the words you chose here?
because later when I really come back to that water, it's totally different because every single pore I feel the love. I feel because it's like many layers. First of all, I take this action and I really go to the sea and I've tried to facing that and then my inner child be heard. So the happiness feel everything I touch is magic, right? So even though I go inside the same water, the fishes I feel they all celebrate for me, and I feel I'm nurtured from the water. The water even get warmer. So because in my job, the water always connected to woman, right? Nurtures. But that moment really touched me.
So soaking in the amniotic fluid of the universal womb, on the meaning layer, the belief layer, this really means that my world takes care of me. And this is a
Yes.
very different belief from somebody who's, suicidal, for example. Suicidal is like, I'm desperate. There is no way to get better. There's no hope. But this is a completely opposite point of view. I'm in safety because the world takes care of me.
I finish right passage today and I'm very satisfied and tired. I just want to feel very clear about truth um, surrounding the sources. It's a done deal. I think my takeaway from that day, the recording after I did everything, I just get so clear about I'm beloved. I don't know, somehow I just make so sure I'm beloved by the universe through my experience. That's my personal confirmation from that day. Like
Mm,
I can still feel the water that day. Like love you. That's
mm,
what I need from, not from my mom,
mm.
from my parents, from the lovers who my relationship later on, it's all cannot I cannot make sure the love is always there for me. But I got some feeling about that. I have some very, yeah. And the confirmation is from my experience. It's so defined and so personal, so profound. I can not even describe how I get that confirmation that day when I'm doing the rite of passage. So that things is like I witnessed that my whole body.
So
I
it's a knowing. It's not like learning. It's not like repeating something. It's a
knowing. I just know that day. So because I experienced once, so I know it's true.
thank you so much for doing this with me. It's really great to talk to you about this again about a year later. It's great to get your perspectives on this. Is there anything that you would like to share with any, people in the world have had a similar experience to you? There are people in the world who don't know what to do. They're still living with traumatic stress from having a similar experience. Is there anything that you would like tell them as far as, I don't know, anything you can think of?
自己用自己的方式记录最真实的自己，然后都跟别人无关，而是很清楚的看自己在这个旅程当中 真正的样子，然后跟自己继续很真实的走下去，不管是用什么方法。然后我自己的话是录影一小段在 YouTube 里面，然后记录我每段时间的感受跟感觉。但我 promise myself，我告诉我自己，我一定要非常非常的诚实、真实，在那个时刻面对我自己。至少我找了一个方式可以面对我自己。那可以是用写的，可以是用其他方式。I'm very humble, still learning a lot. I want to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did actually heal a lot from my sexual trauma, from that particularly ritual, the pulling out all the things and the posted their pictures. Oh my god! For me, it's
Mm.
really like give me a justice for myself, not really to show everyone, it's to myself. So after that, much easier from relationships, dealing with different people. Like at least this part be removed. So and
Yeah.
my friends see I might change a lot as well. And they all go inspired by the little ritual
I want
that
to ask you a question about about sexuality and relationship, because the other day when we spoke, you mentioned that that you have a group, a social group now, where you didn't really have much of a group before. You have a very satisfying like group of friends, and also people who you like
are
lovers. I'm not
lovers.
sure how it works, but you
Yeah,
mentioned that sexuality has become new and open. Some things have opened up. Could you talk about that for a minute?
I don't know how to describe, but I created this community for us. So it's not anything we plan to do it. So everybody have the same interest. Also, we are based from very good friendships. So some of them are actually, I noticed that from their comment about I able now to describe and express sex in such a pure way. So sometimes we are friends, we talk about sex, talk about what's the porn we want to watch, but it didn't turn out like a sexual. It's just pure sex. And we see the different quality, actually the real quality of sex is playful, it's celebrate, it's creative. So it prepared me to enjoy sex, but not using, not make myself feel guilty about my sexuality anymore. So because before, even my sexuality being misused, become pleasure for some men, or I found if they want to have sex with me means they love me. It's so confusing subject, the concept connected sex and the relationship and love, everything's mixing.
This is so helpful for a lot of Asian
Mm,
women who are in abusive relationships where they believe that their role is simply to provide pleasure to the man, and just like, yeah, if you could talk about that in Chinese, that'd be great.
应该说，以前就是在做这些之前，我觉得我就是一个性玩具，所以我小的时候就会被当做满足性需求的，很容易成为那样子的一个角色。那因为我又父母的爱又不是很健全的状态底下，这个经验让我以为这就是爱，所以如果有人对我的身体有兴趣，就表示他是爱我的。那我就带着这个想法到长大之后，任何我的新的关系里面，我都可能用性去绑住对方，或者是吸引对方，然后就觉得这个是爱，或者是当对方对我就是爱情、爱关系跟性是很混淆的，跟我自我价值也是全部混在一起的。那也会因为这样变成操纵，就是 manipulate using my sexuality to manipulate the other person，就是去操纵另外一个人。但是经过慢慢去处理性跟我的价值之后呢，我可以坦诚的接受性是愉悦，是创造力，性是被庆祝的，所以我不再 guilty，不再自我觉得自责。性在我身上可能第一个对我造成伤害，因为别人只看到性对我，或者是我想要控制。 所以在我们新的团体里面，大家能够就算是朋友，我们也能够自在让性在我们中间流动，它只是其中一个我们可以交流的活动而已。所以我们是开放，然后是健康的，在让性的这件事情找回它的美好。我觉得，当然我对性的那个，I want to add in my standard of the sex. It's totally different right now. Yeah, the standard, what's the real making love means is totally different. So I'm not longer to accept the imposing like a very cheap fast food sex. Yeah, because I can have very good quality one and a very, very nurturing one. So that's a big, so much healing. I think the most important thing is the sex with myself. The loving the female, masculine 男性女性的角色在我心中 from my parents is not conflict anymore. I'm trying. So that will be my next yeah, rite of passage. Yes, yeah. So I think I described in Chinese
Beautiful.
quite.
Yeah, I could feel it. I could understand, about 40%, but I could feel the rest. Thank you so much, Gaia. Yeah, thank you so much for discussing your experience going through these changes. It's very valuable. I really thanks. Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you for letting me have this opportunity